I hope you'll go and listen to the full presentation, Sunday night service there at worldviewtube.com, and tweet it out, text, email, Facebook, Getter, True Social, whatever you do. I think you'll be encouraged. I know I was studying it. I hope you will be in listening. Thanks for listening. Take care.
Welcome to Live Up to Freedom. Thank you so much for joining me today. Fingers crossed we should be okay for today with the laptop. So prayers are welcomed as we survive 1 hour on air without my computer dying, glitching, or kicking me off the feed. We are live on worldviewtube.com, worldviewtube X, and Rumble channel, worldviewtube app, which is available for free on your app stores. We're also live on X America News X account, and we're live on my platforms, which is X, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, and Substack. Join the conversation as you wish. And it's going to be a bit of a different. I figured it's been a while since I've been just going with the flow of the news, which was important. No complaints, but I figured I'm losing track of time. There are certain things coming up very soon, very quick, hitting us faster than we can catch them. And I need to start addressing them gradually starting today, because I do not want to later feel bad that I was aware and I had the knowledge and I had the information and I did not address them. So we're going to address a very different topic that almost nobody talks about, most likely nobody cares about. There's a handful of people who are celebrating it, and we need to talk about it, and that is World Cup 2026. I know I have hinted at it on my show, on Brandon's show here and there, but we need to dig really deep today, because the more I look at it, the more I break it down, the more I monitor things, it is definitely not a good look. It is, again, disclaimer, I am not predicting anything. I am not spreading fear. I am going to give you knowledge, information that can very well help you, or it could just prepare you, or just give you some extra information that you are not getting from anyone else. I mean, period of end of a story, you find someone talking about it, please send me their videos, because I'm pretty sure nobody is. Just because there's too much of, big news and cloud and fights and inner fights going on, that this one, who cares about World Cup? And agreed, majority of people in America don't. I very much do. I think I have mentioned that I grew up in Iran. Hello. Hi. The only sport I could watch or was ever on TV was football. And by the way, we're going to call it what it is. It's not soccer, it's football. So I know the ins and outs. I can watch every game. I can analyze it. Hey, I can be a commentator. I guess if this doesn't happen, I would become a football commentator on ESPN or something. Anyways, so I care. I do every 4 years. I watch the games, and but this year is different. This year, the care isn't about the game. It isn't about the name. It isn't about even the players or all that. Not for me, for the rest of you. For me, it is. I have my countries. I cheer. Listen. I have fall off my bed, jumping and screaming at the TV, watching a game, World Cup game. Let me start here. Let's talk about this World Cup. Again, respectfully, I have had my discussions with my American friends, like, who cares? We have this and we have that. We have the, college series, and we have NFL, and we have all that. I'm like, that's wonderful. But that's the problem. You got to expand that lens. The name of it is on it, World Cup. So I'm going to start with just explain what World Cup is, to just give you an image of what happens when World Cup happens. And then I'm going to head to your comments, and then we'll continue talking about the rest of it. World Cup. Normally how it works is every 4 years it takes place. From kickoff, first game, until the very last game is somewhere, depending on the country, on the host, on the situation, and competitions. It's between 35 to 39 days that goes on. The first round of series, it's like non-stop, and then there are days when there are 1 or 2 days break between games as we build up to the final, and there are less games. There's a time when there's just 1 or 2 games a day. But at the very beginning, the first round, every day there are 3 at points 4 games taking place at the same day, in the same day. And then it gets to where, yes, there are less games, but the games are happening at the same time in 2 different locations. For example, when we come to get to the final round, those who are competing to make it to top 4 of the games, the result of each game plays a role on the other game, so therefore they happen exactly at the same time. However, sometimes it might end a couple of minutes later than the other one, but the start point is the same time happening at the same 2 games. And you'll just bear with me. Don't turn off the channel. Don't zone out. Trust me, everything I'm telling you, it's going to play a role in next segment after that, and for you to understand why these are important to know today. And this is the only time you probably need to know about them. You can hold on to the knowledge after the Sport Cup or delete them off your brain, but it is important. This year, the hosts, normally there's a host, like last round 4 years ago was Qatar, which was a story of its own. We don't need to dig into it. I'm going to hint at a few stuff just for references, but last time was Qatar, before that was Russia, before that was Brazil. So it's a country. But this time, in 2026, there are 3 countries that are hosting the World Cup. The 3 countries are United States of America, Canada, and Mexico. Reasons, there are legit reasons behind why it had to be a split. None of these 3 countries could handle the requirements. So all 3 got in and said, hey, you have 2 stadiums, I got 3, you got 5, we can match the requirements. And the travel between 3 countries is not ridiculously hard. So 3 countries, we have 48 teams involved. It's 48 teams. The 48 teams are split between 12 groups. Each group has 4 teams. Now, when we say teams, we need to look, again, a little bigger than normal. Let's start with Argentina, because that's my team, right? Argentina doesn't show up with 11 players and a coach and an assistant coach. No, they come full staff, including the backups and the backups for the backups. Each player has a backup, and then that backup has a backup. And then in language of that game, we say the A player, B player, and C player. So you can split right there. That's 33 players. At times 36 players, just in case. And then you have the staff, you have the representation from that country, because this is an international event. So they normally have 1 person assigned, not a diplomat, but in a diplomatic stage to show up. So let's say one of their player or the coach or somebody does something illegal, they can represent the international incident that just happened. And on and on and on. So right there with the 48 teams, now we can exclude US, because US is already a host, so nobody's showing up technically travel-wise. You have 47 teams coming in with at least minimum 50 people, possibly in certain cases 65 people, just right there coming to United States of America, Canada, and Mexico. There are, I believe, 108 games that are going to take place. And as I said, it happens in about 39 days, with some having gap. So clearly they're not all happening, in once a day or one location for that matter. Then the entire concept of World Cup is not about the teams. It's about the fans. If we step outside of America for a minute, maybe a little bit outside of Canada, even inside Mexico, football is the thing. people wait every 4 years for World Cup to take place. It is huge. So now we face fans who want to come to the host country to go to these games. Qatar, the last round host, reported of entry of 2.1 million foreigners during the 2022 World Cup. That was Qatar. 2.1 million. Now, why do I say, well, that was Qatar? A lot of people didn't go to Qatar for the fact that it's Qatar. Quick background. FIFA had to fight the Qatar government to lift certain restrictions for this to even happen. For example, they had to lift the ban on women entering the stadiums. Anyhow, so they had a very small number. Now let's go to Russia. Russia reported 3.7 million foreigners coming for their World Cup. Going ahead to Brazil. They had 3.1 million foreigners coming in. You follow where I'm going with this? So there is a very good chance, as the latest report I can give you that I have confirmed as of right now, the United States of America's Immigration Office is facing over 5 million applications for visa. Now, by law of FIFA, in a weird way, FIFA is a government of its own, which is the Federation of Football, worldwide, international federation. If I try to break it down, it won't make sense to you because the language is not English, so it's going to break up. Just know it's the International Federation of Football. If a host country agrees to host a World Cup, they have to remove their unreasonable restrictions, such as women can't come into a stadium, or another restriction Qatar had to lift temporarily was men are allowed to wear shorts. Because, you know, it's Qatar, it's hot. They broke the entire journey. World Cup happens between June and July. That's just the way it is. I don't know why. Well, I do know why it's the best. In most countries, it's the best season to play the game. There's no rain, there's no freezing cold, there's no ice, there's not too much heat and humidity. So June and July has been the thing. But during Qatar time, games moved to October. Because they're like, everybody except Middle Easterns are going to die during your summer, so we're going to move it. Even with that, they had to sign off on lifting the restriction of men wearing shorts. Now bring it back home. Let's talk about United States of America. We cannot deny entry from the countries that have temporary or permanent ban on entering. We can't do that. We can stop an individual from coming from that country, but we cannot keep those restrictions and bans on the files during process of World Cup approval of visa, travels, and the games itself. Right there, light bulb. Uh-oh. And again, since it's an international phenomenon, apparently, everybody comes from everywhere. And even if we go with the lowest number, which is Qatar, we are potentially facing 2 million people coming into United States of America with approved visas that can be anywhere from 30 days to 45 days, a specific kind of visa that is issued for World Cup. They can apply for 45 days because those are who are like, okay, I'm going to come, a week earlier because I want to attend the ceremony. I want to do the ceremony concert, which is a day before the event. They're like, I need a day to rest before I exit the country. So 45 is the cap. Minimum is 30. And then whomever doesn't need the 30, they can just use whatever of that time. So for 45, potentially for 30 days to 45 days, we're going to have minimum 2 million, maximum reported 5 million foreigners coming into the United States of America. Let's leave it there. you guys take a minute to think about all the load of information I gave you. Let's go take our first ad break. When we come back, I head to the comment section and then we pick it up from right here. Be right back.
Life is too short to spend a single moment spinning in laundry worries. Take a load off your mind with the all-new Norwex Powerzyme laundry detergent. This natural detergent harnesses the power of enzymes and plant-based surfactants to leave fabrics fresh and clean without fillers, brighteners, synthetic fragrances, bleach, or harsh chemicals. So go ahead, have your cake and eat it too. More than ever, stressful stains have met their match. Powerzyme's fast-acting enzymes break down organic substances while natural surfactants loosen locked-in dirt and oil, removing residue, stains, and odors with ease. With 91% bio-based ingredients, this dermatologist-tested hypoallergenic formula is suitable for sensitive skin types and delivers a safe and effective clean that won't harm you or the planet's waterways. Less time spent worrying about laundry means you can focus on what truly matters. Norwex Powerzyme Laundry Detergent. Discover the power of nature and load up on confidence.
Welcome back to Live Up to Freedom. Thank you so much for staying with me until now. One of the greatest ways to help yourself have a cleaner and healthier home and support me financially is to make purchases from cyruswellness.com, which is all Norwex products. They have so many products, but I have told you about my favorite ones. So head over to cyruswellness.com. Pick up your items, whatever is your favorite, the cloth, all of them, the scrubs, laundry detergents, all-purpose cleaners, hygiene, skincare, pet products, baby products. That way you support my work because I do receive commission every time you make a purchase through my URL, which is cyruswellness.com. Let's head over to the comment sections. I want to know if you even want me to continue talking about this because I normally get that sense from your comments. Good to see you, Bill, on YouTube. Tennessee Girl, good afternoon to you as well. Lori, good to see you on both platforms of Substack and YouTube. Christine, good afternoon to you as well. Lori, you're very kind. I have no idea why I look extra beautiful today, but I appreciate it. I guess it's the white. I've been told I should wear more often white, but I just don't. I don't have enough white, and it's not my favorite color to wear. Hey, Skit, good to see you. Dawn, by the way, Dawn, I saw your comment after, I think it was when I posted the apology note. I appreciate your suggestion. I love the idea. I don't know if it's going to work. And the reason it won't is normally if I do any personal fundraising, it tend to never happens. But Don's suggestion was I can put up a fundraising to raise enough money to buy a new laptop, and Don will gladly donate to it. But I'll think about it and I'll pray over it, and I might do it. I may not. I don't know. For now, the laptop seems to be working. But wanted you to know that I saw your comment and I appreciate the gesture and the thought. It's something that I normally stay away from. I'm a little scared of doing so. Go away. How you doing? I heard Rudy Giuliani says his son Andrew Giuliani was going to be heading up security for FIFA in LA. Question mark, question mark, question mark. I don't know, but I will most certainly look into that. Right now, one of the reasons I'm covering what I'm covering is there is so much, there's a lot of rumors, but there is no actual solid definition or at least any statement put out. And that's the thing. Did I mention we're less than 60 days away from this event? I should have started there. I am not seeing any special announcement. I have monitored the immigration website. I've monitored FBI website. There are no announcements yet. And that's exactly what terrifies me, because by now we should have received all the announcements. We haven't. We should have received it definitely by now, because all of the visas must be, well, must, when I say must, it's not a law per se, but normally within 60 days before the first event, the kickoff, visas must be issued from all hosts. Well, normally it's just one host, but because people need to start, get their tickets, and that's the thing. This isn't like the cheapest seat you can get for the least favorite game of this time. You're looking at $800. Tickets go all the way up to $5,000-$6,000, and people are not gonna buy their ticket if they don't have a visa, and they know it plays no role. Like if you bought a ticket for a game, that doesn't play a role for you to get a visa. So the visas normally 60 days before games, all the visas are issued, so everybody knows who's coming, so they can get their travels planned. They got to get hotels book out pretty quickly, and prices go skyrocketing, which I gave somebody a warning today. By the way, if comes June and July, you're trying to travel, there is no flights available, or flights are triple. It's not the economy. It's the World Cup. As I said, from June 10th until July 20th, it's a madhouse. Like, people are traveling between not just the states in US, but US, Canada, Mexico, US, Canada, Mexico. So some of the people don't show up right away. A lot of people actually only come from round 16 up. So it's going to be during that time. Everything is, hotels are skyrocketing, especially within those areas. That being said, I would think majority of visas have been issued, so we should receive the statement or the announcement by immigration addressing the special circumstances of World Cup, letting us know what are we gonna face, what are the plans, what are the measurements, who did they decline. That information is not out yet, and today is what, April 14th, June 11th. 3 days short of 60 days. That's one of the reasons I'm like, could I sit here and talk more about Trump and Iran and IRGC? Yes, but I feel like this is what I need to add now. The deadline is missed. Why is there not enough information, official announcements from the government and the departments involved? Like the states that are hosting inside America, they need to make their announcements. Like Georgia is hosting, California is hosting, Pennsylvania is hosting, Missouri is hosting, Texas is hosting. So where are the announcements? These states need to make their announcement. Their residents are to be told in less than 60 days, this is what's happening, this is the measurement, these are the new, if you see this, don't think that. And again, I don't expect most people to know this, because most people don't even know what World Cup is all about, who cares? But I have followed this religiously, so I know exactly the steps. And I have even attended once. I wanted to go when the games were in Brazil. I was planning to go for the game. And then, of course, I ended up changing my mind. And I was glad that I didn't, because there were a few bad incidents during World Cup in Brazil. The unrest was outrageous, and I was glad I didn't go. But my point is, I have gone through some of the process. I have watched other countries. I've monitored it very closely, and I'm like, why are we not hearing anything about it? What are the announcements? So anyhow, I said all of that because that's anyways part of what I was going to say. But I will look into if Rudy Giuliani's son is part of LA security or not. Goldway says, in the Winter Olympics, they call the U.S. hockey team ice football. Lori says, I'm not into sports. I like gardening myself. I'm not into, well, so I explained the whole thing with soccer. My sport growing up playing was handball. I played all positions of handball, all of them, including a goalie. Badminton and tennis are my thing. As far as watching, I like to go to hockey games, not because I understand the game at all. It's just fun, especially when, that moment when they hit the fiberglass, you're like, oh yeah, no hurt, it's all good. So I have gone to a few American football games. I enjoy the hot dog and the beer, and other than that, I just follow the crowd. When they scream, I scream. Otherwise, I just sit there and eat my hot dog. But that I love gardening. I can't do it. I have tried it, just not made for me. Hey, Teresa, good to see you. Um, okay, let me see if I can catch a few more comments before I move on to the details. Oh, that's awesome. Teresa said she got the mop and a special mop. Oh, that was the yes. That's one thing I failed miserably. I should do that more often. There are times where Norwex runs the specials, and they were doing the super mop time where if you bought one mop, you would get the super mop or the big head with it for free. Well, I'm glad that's when you made it. Laurie says, it sure is a scary having a large event like the FIFA now, especially with all what is going on. Bad enough any other time. Hope the government take the security measures seriously. I'm glad you said that. Under any circumstances, it is terrifying to host a World Cup. Hi, Chantal. Good to see you, and good to see you, Dora. But especially right now under the circumstances, it is terrifying, and we're going to get to that part of it. Swan on Rumble says, I'm so glad I'm not planning to attend this event, but this is such an interesting topic that you're monitoring right in this moment. Yes, I am intrigued. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I had to. Well, originally, by the way, this wasn't planned yesterday. I should be fair. The bets for the next host start immediately after World Cup wraps up. And it's literally a bet. Countries that want to host, they drop their name in a hat, and it's drawn like literally in a bowl, picked, qualified, no. Next, qualified, yes. Okay, let's talk. So you have to put your name in the hat, and we did this in 2022 after the Qatar World Cup ended. With that, and that thing strategically, we're like, okay, we can't do it by ourselves. Canada can never do it by itself. Mexico out of question, but if we all chain up a group, we can do it. So this happened in 2022. We won the bet. The announcement was made in 2023. So that, and by the way, I have had those who ask me why. Because yes, technically, not a penny, I repeat, not a penny of the ticket sales by FIFA goes to the host country. None, zero, zilch. However, when you think about it, I just told you, potential 2 million up to about 5 million tourists in a matter of a month. That is a good economy boost. Does it come with risks? Absolutely, especially nowadays. However, a lot of countries, for example, when Brazil decided, there was a lot of bet against Brazil. They had to fight tooth and nail to get it. And they did. And like when the reports came out afterwards, though none of the tickets proceedings went to the government or the country or anything, but the economy had a complete, I think it was a 6% boost within that 30 days. These are the opportunities that not every country can, have. Of course, U.S. aside, every other country, it's such an honor to host World Cup. It's like historically, who had it more, right? The European countries are fighting. Oh, England hosted twice more than we did. We got to catch up with it. So all of that goes into it. But right now, though this was decided back in 2022, announced and officially accepted in 23, today, where we're at makes a difference. But I have always enjoyed watching World Cup, always. But this year, I feel like I have such a duty. I feel the burden on my shoulder. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna watch them, but am I gonna enjoy the game, or am I gonna constantly monitor to see what is happening and which other stadium, rather than checking what's happening with the other game? I'm checking the other stadium. And I'm glad it is at least intriguing to you. Appreciate the comment. Does FIFA coincide with America's 250 celebration? Don, you're a little ahead of me, but yes. I was going to build up to that moment, but since you asked. It starts July 12, ends, June 12, ends July 19. So, the 4th of July is happening. There's not just one, but 2 games on 4th of July in 2 states in America. I don't know why none of the 4th of July games are in Canada or Mexico. We have Pennsylvania hosting one of the 4th of July games, and we have Texas hosting the other one. One of them, I might be a bit off here, starts at 12 p.m. The Pennsylvania one, 12 p.m. The Texas one, 3 or 5 p.m. So yes, that is one of the things that the reason I was trying to build up to there is because there's so many little tiny things we need to address. We just addressed how many members of the teams are coming in. And we talked about how many tourists are coming in from every country. There are no limitations. There is no banning. By the way, for anyone who has questions, bans are lifted. President Trump signed off legally on Iran's football team to come and play their games because I don't know if I agree or disagree. That's not my position, but his point was they have earned their place in these games and they can come and play if they want to. Now, do we know they're coming or not? We don't know because at the end of the day, the country they come from decides to send them or not. But the host country has signed off that they will have no problem with Iran team coming in and more teams. But we're up for our second ad. When we come back from our second ad break, I'm going to actually give you the name. Bear with me. We're going to go through quickly reading the name of the 48 teams coming. And then from there, we're going to touch on some of the, at least on the surface, potential vulnerabilities that must be addressed. Otherwise, we could be sitting ducks. Be right back, guys. Well, hello everybody, it's Annie Cyrus. Welcome to my art studio where all the magic happens. This is the station for painting, and that is the station for all the resin art I do. If you want to check out my art, all you gotta do is go to lutfstudio.com. But I'm sure, or at least I hope, I'll see you at lutfstudio.com. I would love to see you check out lutfstudio.com if you haven't yet. That's where you find my genuinely one-of-a-kind handmade resin pieces, because even when I try to duplicate, it just doesn't happen. Resin has a mind of its own. The only thing that I can do exact are the heart necklaces, because I have a set of mold that are 6 of them, and then I can make the mix and pour them all at the same time, and then those 6 will look somewhat exact. And then after that, we're done. We can't recreate those again. lutfstudio.com, lutfstudio.com. Use promo code MISSION for 10% discount. Good to see you, Pookie, on a Rumble. I think you put that comment before I was addressing the qualification versus ban, so I'll skip that one. Swan says seats for FIFA in Atlanta starts at $15,400 per person. What? Where does this money go again if they don't go back to these corresponding countries? Where does it go? Yes, I told you some of the tickets go like. Check out the tickets for final or even third and fourth place. Check them out for semi-final. It's just, and again, that's just, it's not an everyday. If you think about it, maybe not. You know, those who buy the whole year of their favorite team here in America, and then you put 4 years, full season, 4 years together, It's once every 4 years, so guilty. During Brazil time, I was going to, well, it wasn't this expensive by the time for Brazil, but I was going to attend 2 of the Brazil games. Definitely was going to. Definitely not doing this year because the prices are skyrocketing. I mean, outrageous. Where does the money go? The money goes, first of all, the money provides for the award of the games, the first and second place. Secondly, it goes back to FIFA, that is pretty much paying for everything that's happening during a World Cup, and profit, of course. FIFA needs to survive. So the tickets, the money for tickets, like when you even go to buy the ticket, it goes through FIFA. Like the checkout, everything goes through FIFA. That's where the money goes for the tickets. But yes, some of the prices are. Pookie said, a proposed $15,000 bond, the requirement for some African visitors remains a concern, with no exemption confirmed for World Cup participants or fans. That has not been confirmed, meaning that the exception is being applied as of now. I've not been able to confirm that FIFA has accepted any exception for World Cup 2026. And I should say this, there was a time when at the beginning of the war going on, there was a bit of a bouncing back and forth, specifically about Iran team. And when Canada and Mexico decided to say, we have no problem with them, we were about to lose some of the games. They were about to be moved to Mexico or Canada. So that played a bit of a role. That's a risk you take when you have co-host with you. You don't have much room to maneuver, especially when your co-hosts are Mexico and Canada. I mean, you don't want the game, we'll take the game. So that played a little bit of a role. Christine says, do you know which city in Texas will be hosting games? Actually, there are 3 cities. I know Houston, Texas is, Austin is. I'm about to pull it up. I think there's a 3rd city, but the one on 4th of July is Houston, Texas, is the game on 4th of July. Okay, guys, let's go over the groups, right? I'll do it fast, but I'll pause where we need to pause. Group A is Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, and Czechia. Okay, I'll pause here. Why do I pause here? Mexico. I know we're not to generalize, right? But Mexico is one of the hosts. One of the hosts. And Mexico has, in comparison to US and Canada, they have a pretty good team. Meaning they're going to survive plenty. Meaning there will be a lot of travel between US and Mexico. I'm not going to go too deep because most of you are following my thought here, but I want to know what are the measures that the United States of America's government is taking to make sure those with visa who go from US to Mexico, when they come back to US, are the same people who went to Mexico. Do we even have the manpower to track potentially 2 million to 5 million people crossovering borders with Mexico and make sure everybody came back? Did they not come back? If they didn't come back, did somebody come back in their place? Or did 2 people come back in their place? Or what did they bring back with them? And now, again, I want you to keep in mind, this is a fast-paced scenario. This isn't a, I don't know, we have a week to catch up with it. This is fast. It's too fast. The movements of fans going back and forth, some are every other day. Every other day. All the kickoff of the 3 hosts are happening at the same day in their own countries. So US kickoff is in US, Canada kickoff is Canada, Mexico kickoff is in Mexico. After that, everything is flipping everywhere. Everybody's moving around between these 3 countries. Is there a plan in place to track any Cyrus who got a visa and came to America, landing place, let's say California, Inglewood, California, hosting the first game, I came to watch the first kickoff of US England with California. Now I want to go watch the second game in 2 days in Canada. I went to Canada. From there, I went to Mexico for another day game. Came back 4 days later to Inglewood, California. Can you track me? Can you? A country that's barely surviving years of open border, illegals, floods, tunnels, already receiving pushback from its own citizens when it comes to ICE agents. Can this country survive a movement of 2 to 5 million foreigners across 3 countries and still stay on top of it? Let me know, what do you think about I just gave you one. I haven't even started, guys. I can do a 5-hour series on what can possibly go wrong. And this isn't even about an attack yet. I haven't even made my way to possible attacks. This is about how many IRGCs can be exported from Canada to US just during that 30 days. We all know how many IRGC type people are in Canada, right? Okay, going to the next group. Group B, Canada, Bosnia, Qatar, Switzerland. Group C, Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, Scotland. Group D, USA, Paraguay, Australia. Drum roll, Turkey. Yeah. By the way, I should be, none of these groups are pre-ordered. They're not by design. There was a whole day that, of course, I watched. You know, there are bowls and there are little white tennis balls or something in there. When you open it, there's a name in there. They show it on camera. It's in order, so it's very random. None of these groups are built in, you know, by design. So Turkey landing in group of USA in group D was not by design, but it is what it is. Group E is Germany, Ivory Coast, Ecuador, and Russia, or however you pronounce that country. Group F goes Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, Tunisia. Please feel free to put in the comments if you're not catching my pause, long pronunciation, eye rolls in each group. Group G contains Belgium, Egypt, Iran, New Zealand. Group H contains Spain, Saudi Arabia, Uruguay, and I think Cape Verde. Group I, we have France, Senegal, Iraq, and Norway. Group J is Argentina, Algeria, Austria, Jordan. Group J, sorry, I read Group J. Group K, Portugal, Congo, Uzbekistan, Colombia. Group L, England, Croatia, Ghana, or you call it Ghana, and Panama. How do you feel about these 48 countries? Some of them were like, whoosh, UK. England has never missed the World Cup, of course. But let's go through the process real quick again. Is everybody requiring or requesting a visa to come to America for these games? Coming are Brits from England to cheer England? With the numbers we have of the conquered UK, how many Saeed Khan and Muhammad Ali and Saeed Al-Jabari with British passport are coming? Just asking questions, guys. Just asking questions. I mean, there's a list of, we got Iraq. Woo! Yes, Iraq team has earned its way to be in these games. But then Iraqis coming from Iraq applying for visas. How many of them are tied to, I don't know, the Shia Iranians in Iraq. Because don't even try to tell me we have a way of knowing that. And by the way, even we do, a lot of men. Remember the October 7th guy who later was arrested in America, holding a green card? Forget about a special circumstances visa, a World Cup. We're up for our last ad break. Let's go do that. When we come back, I'll address your comments again and try to get some more of potential vulnerabilities before we wrap up. I feel like this show needs to continue for a couple more episodes. Be right back, guys. Welcome back to Live Up to Freedom. Thank you so much for staying with me until now. I greatly appreciate it. I am trying to open a window. There we go. Okay, I opened that. Now we're going to quickly go over, especially Lori, I'm so sorry. I don't know where you are exactly, but sorry to disappoint you. The Texas cities I named are not the end of the list. Toronto in Canada. We have Toronto. In America, we got Inglewood, California, Santa Clara, California, East Rutherford, New Jersey, and then we go back to Vancouver, Canada, and then we're going to come back to, oh, wait. Never mind. Houston, Texas, Arlington, Texas. I said there's another one in Texas, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Seattle, Washington, Atlanta, Georgia, Miami Gardens, Florida, Inglewood, California again, and Kansas City, Missouri is one of the cities. Atlanta, Georgia, I think I already said that. I don't know if I'm repeating some of these. And I'm not even reading the Mexico ones because I don't know if anybody watches my show from Mexico or if they're concerned. I think they're too excited in Mexico. But yes, looks like Toronto and Vancouver are the only two stadiums in Canada where we got our long list, right? Now, California, it's going to be a mess. I'll put this out there. I don't care whose son is providing security. It's going to be a mess in California. I'm going to address something. I was going there, but you brought it up. Great point, Lori. Now, we talked about tracking. Now, the next question is, do we have the plan, the tools, and the manpower to make sure every single one of these 2 to 5 million people who came in leave? Can we track them? Can we make sure none of them stayed behind? None of them are going to, kind of just hide around and later become something bigger? How many of these, not the visa holders, let's talk about the players and the teams now of 48 countries. We just named all of them, but some of them comes to mind. Iran, Iraq, Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia. Do we have any specifications in place to decline asylum seekers? Historically, it has been proven over and over. Many of the African and Asian countries, their sport teams reach Europe or US or Canada and they immediately go for asylum. Remember very recently the volleyball team of Iran's women team? I'm not against it. Remember, I'm an asylum seeker myself. The question is, today of America, do we have what it takes to properly address these? Do we know who's telling the truth, who's not? Because I can personally tell you, well, I'm just going to zoom in on Iran for a minute. I can tell you that we have football players, coaches, who lean toward the regime. They do. During the uprising of Mahsa Amini, during the uprising of December, during the revolution of January and February, I posted on those who are standing by the people versus those who are standing against the people, and many of them were involved with football. Does anyone I mean, I'm here if you would like to contact me, I can give you a list, but point is, how many new asylum cases are going to start from this World Cup? Or do we have anything in place to fight the activists, including myself, who are going to say that person deserved the asylum? And just say no to everybody? Are we going to say no to everybody, yes to everybody? Let me think about it. How are we going to process all of this? So that's important. Now, last but definitely not least for today, because we're running out of time. Oh gosh, Kristen, be careful. You're right outside of Houston. Now, for my Substackers, of course, I will be covering this extensively. We're going to break each issue into a Substack of its own. I'm going to give you updates which city, which days, what the movement is, what to look for. All of that is coming within the next 60 days. You know me, I'm going to obsess over this, rightfully so. Dawn says we're in so much trouble. Please do another episode on this topic. Oh, absolutely, Dawn. If you guys want to know about, as I said, I'm going to extensively cover it on my writing. But if you want to do more shows on this, absolutely. Oh, Teresa, apparently the computer is standing good for today. I don't know if there were any glitches. At least it didn't die. It's an MSI, this laptop. The brand of it is MSI. Hey, Patricia, good to see you on the chat. I'm glad you figured it out. Sherry also says, yes, do another episode on this. I will definitely, yes, I'll cover this more. And again, I'm gaining more information as we get closer. I hope good information, but me too, Pookie. I'm glad not to see any laptop issues today. Me too. We have 6 minutes or 7 minutes. Now, I want you to think about this until the next episode of this or the Substacks coming out. I want you to think about this. Just going back to 4th of July. 2 games, 2 stadiums. Texas, Pennsylvania. Both the states, I'm going to zoom in on the states, both the states with trouble histories, or I should say troubled present time, actually. A conflict between law enforcement and the people, conflict between law enforcement and the governments. Now here's another thing. There's a huge conflict that we're facing between federal government and local government. The state governments are pushing back. And when it comes to World Cup, though it's in national security, a lot of policies are implemented by states, meaning Newsom will decide if he's going to accept federal help when it comes to securing all of these stadiums. Federal government cannot force them. We cannot go into the state of California and track these visas if Newsom tries to throw punches at us. So the internal division and the problems added to external pressure of millions of cameras running around, billions of eyes on every game. And we're facing 4th of July in Houston, Texas, and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Now, did I say that right? I think I said that right. I might have said it wrong. Point is, 2 major cities. What are we planning to do? Canceling 4th of July? Is that what's up? Or are we going to stretch our law enforcement even thinner? Do we even have enough manpower in this country right now? Genuinely, do we even have enough manpower to face this? And again, I'm not saying cancel it, because we can't actually. Way too late to cancel this. Way too late. Even if there was a host country that was willing to take over us, they wouldn't be able to pull it off. So we can't cancel it. We have to go forward. But why is this not a discussion? Someone pointed it out on my comment section that, with all due respect, Mr. President Trump, you have time to sit there and criticize Pope Leo, but you haven't said a word about this. Why? Nobody can today tell me that the war with Iran, or Strait of Hormuz, or Pope Leo being too soft on crime, or visiting the 3rd largest mosques in the world today is more important than the major national security we're facing in less than 60 days right here at home. Is FBI ahead of this? Has FBI stepped up on their monitoring and surveillance to spot any potential attack coming at any of these stadiums? We're not talking about tiny itsy bitsy venues. This isn't some bar in Florida. And again, if anybody's going to tell me like they're doing it behind closed doors, this is not policy you do behind closed doors. Especially when by majority your nation is very unfamiliar with what's coming. I have to sit here and say, okay, this is how it works. This is how many teams are coming, how many people are coming. No, this is a situation where you get ahead of it. Cash is very good at jumping on cameras 24/7. Get on a camera and say, my fellow Americans, we're about to face a unique situation that was, when was the last time U.S. hosted? 96, 98, no, 94. I think 1994 is the last time U.S. hosted World Cup. And back then we weren't having these issues, but we are now. So anyways, we're hosting World Cup. This is what's going to happen. Millions are about to come into our country. We're doing our best to make sure none of the sleeper cells are activated. We're hearing nothing. We are hearing nothing about it at all. So therefore, I think it's okay for me to be a little concerned that why is this? I get that they're hiding behind it's World Cup. Nobody cares. But don't look at it as World Cup. Do not look at it as World Cup. Look at it as absolute potential national security disaster coming. The number of holes I have found, I've talked to a few close friends, are like, I have put a map together of, okay, that game's happening there. That was like, I have like board with pins of, okay, which one can have what potential, what could go wrong there at the border. It's going to be absolutely disaster through Canada or Mexico, no matter what. And I'm going to do my best to educate my fellow Americans and Canadians for that matter, because I don't think Canadians know much more about what's happening either, except that, again, they only have 2 stadiums. They have 12 games, I think. We're doing the heavy lift 68 games here, but doesn't matter. Canadians are not being much informed with their government either. So I'm going to do my best within the next 54 days to get as much of it. But that's it. I can't provide security for venues. I can tell my fellow Americans what to look for, what not to do, what to do, who to trust. Don't get all excited about all the tourists in your neighborhood. And plan your vacation or your travels of summer outside of that time. First of all, it's going to be very costly to travel unless you're driving. It's going to be hard to even get tickets. As I said, Pete, 2 million to 5 million people are traveling inside America and outside America. And be careful. I got to close the show. Unfortunately, we're out of time. I see your comments are still coming in. Don't forget the book, The Architecture of Jihad, available in Kindle paperback on Amazon, signed copies on my website, Live Up to Freedom. I strongly encourage you to become a paid subscriber on my Substack as more projects are coming, and also I can use your support. And also my artist studio, lutfstudio.com, and cyruswellness.com, where you can purchase Norwex products. I'm going to wrap up. I will not be here tomorrow. I'm going to run a few of the great interviews I have done last week, but I will be back Thursday with a first-time guest on my show. We're going to talk education. Until then, stay safe. Watch out for World Cup. I'll see you Thursday. Bye, guys.
You're watching Worldview 2, built on the 35 years of Worldview books, documentaries, research, high-profile interviews.
Tonight on the Worldview Report, despite weeks of intense airstrikes, Iran still retains thousands of operational ballistic missiles and the ability to quickly repair and restore underground launchers. China is reportedly preparing to supply Iran with advanced weaponry as the regime faces heavy Israeli and American military pressure. President Trump blasts Pope Leo after the pontiff's veiled criticism of the Iran war and U.S. immigration policies, kicking off a tit-for-tat dispute among the two leaders. The so-called Dignity Act is exposed as a Trojan horse for mass amnesty for millions of illegal immigrants. Massachusetts, those Democrats there in that state, they have advanced a bill that would impose strict limits on how far residents can drive their own personal cars. And a classified Israeli strategic assessment, it warns of a potential catastrophic collapse in long-term American support for Israel. And new data from Finland, it strongly challenges the claim that gender reassignment procedures improve mental